Hey my dudes, how's it hanging? It's your boy ZNF1 here. So today I thought I'd do a video on bow fishing and teach you guys how to do that. But before we go ahead and get into it, let's cue intro. Before we, go ahead and get out there, I want to let you guys know that we're having a special guest today, my cousin Luke. He probably or possibly will be in future videos. He's a really cool dude. But we're gonna do that, and this video is gonna be a little bit more of a casual sort of video, with a bit of scenery and some action shots and stuff like that. But that being said, let's go ahead and get out there. What would you say is the key to finding like a good spot to bow fish?
Out here, the best way to do it is to find like nice eddies in the early morning, because we'll be chilling in like the low traffic areas. It requires less energy and there's a lot of food on the edges of the river. You can only do it at certain times because the fish will drop down lower in the water deeper than you can see them or shoot them. And in the morning time, they're not typically down in those shallows. They typically go down in the deeper water when it's warm, or when it starts getting cold, because the water down there is warm. And the sun's out like this, it don't get much warmer. Turtle. Think. Turtle is a snake.
Definitely kind of figured he might be walking for a minute before we find anything. It's just like fishing, you have to be patient. Well, it is fishing. You have to be patient.
It's down like 2.5 feet from where it normally is. And this is a prime example of one of the eddies I was talking about.
Okay.
So like how the river keeps flowing through here, the water will build up and chill like right in here. And how you can shoot down and into it, there'll be like gar and everything. That'll just be chilling in here, especially small sized gar. Like our shadows are behind us right here. So like when we're walking up and into the current, the fish with their lateral lines can't feel us because the current's flowing past them. And your shadow's behind you. Once you start like going in the middle of the day, like your shadow starts standing up and then reaching out in front of you while you're trying to walk upstream. And that makes your body way longer than the fish can see that shadow. So it turns you into like a 12-foot being instead of a 6.
Right, so it's just optimal to go earlier in the day or closer to night, arguably.
Yep, but if you're doing it closer to night, you have to fish downstream.
Right.
Which is hard.
So, fish in the morning, don't fish at night.
Yes.
Unless you need to.
But that shadow out there, that's what it would look like. Or what any of them typically look like when they're shootable.
Right, I gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely a place to hide at, because you'll see that little tree that's fallen down and there's like a little cave. That's a prime area for a fish to hide at.
This ground's soft, different color because it's all full of like roe. These are all like unfertilized eggs.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is the reason I'm out bow fishing.
Right.
Like, because carp are literally just polluting all the banks that we have with eggs that don't get fertilized and shit and turn the sandbars into mush. big fish are not going to be able to swim back down like this narrow passageway where the rocks come up. Like they're not able to swim past that. So essentially they become landlocked. Like the pool here is where they're allowed to chill, and they can't go any further upstream. In the springtime, we have to wait for this waterway to get replenished with fish until it refloods, and they're able to swim back over these rocks. Because until then, they're trapped up here. Definitely see what I'm saying though. There's no way a decent sized fish is making it back up it.
Right, yeah, because they're all just trapped right in there. So how low it is, it's kind of hard to really go anywhere else. Like you said, landlocked. Somebody's floating, or is it part of the tent? That's part of the float.
Old floaty. Usually they're not going to be chilling where the water's pushing real hard.
Right.
Because it takes so much effort to, to hold their spot.
Right. Generally they stay in calmer areas because it's just easier. Why would you try to grab food in a place that's moving so fast? It's not natural.
It's really pretty though.
Getting you up for the gram, bro. Oh, don't run. Okay, I know the gram's not the best thing in the world, but come on, man. First, what you want to do, obviously, knock your arrow. But whenever you're knocking your arrow, you want to make sure that your slider in front of the rest here. That way it doesn't get caught or anything, or you don't potentially have an accident of some sorts, and then you want to make sure that your screw for your hook is actually screwed on correctly and tight, so that way it doesn't go flying off and you can't really spear anything. And then you want to make sure that your slide stopper is behind the rest here. So make sure the slide stopper is behind your rest, that way you don't have any problems with it stopping. And then whenever you're shooting, you want to make sure obviously your line's clear and not wrapped up in the bow, because that can just cause problems and potential injury. And then what you want to do is aim where the fish is going, not where they are, because you aim where they are, you're going to miss your fish, and that's no food. No dinner. Whenever you draw back, just straight draw back, and take aim, and aim where it's about to be, and release. Make sure the line's not lodged in anything, so give her a good old tug. If it's stuck in something, try to go find it. It's not too shallow, and anchor out from the base of the arrow, not the line. That way you're less likely to break your line, but if you have to, do what you got to. And then hold the lever on your reel. Whenever you're reeling it in, it actually works correctly. So, because if you don't, you're not really going to get anywhere. Yeah. Most rigs are like $80 to $90 roughly. Work with any bow virtually. You get pool floaties come up for making your bow float, or to kind of help with the buoyancy device in case you might need it, arguably. I'm still kind of new at this. So generally, a bunch of fallen trees and everything like this. Area a lot of fish like to hide, gar and all that fun stuff. It's kind of chill, camp out. And just either hunt for food or rest, look out for their fellow fish. But the fallen trees are generally a good indicator of fish being near a creek or a river. They tend to hide under there because it's a nice little, shelter for them. The trees and the lake are best friend when it comes to fishing. Also good to sit back and observe for a minute, like you would fishing. Be very patient, kind of see where the flow of the fish is going. That way you can, obstruct that flow and make sure you get it towards the shallow parts, because it's just easier to shoot, because it's closer to the surface, so you're gonna have a much easier time having the arrow spear through the fish. Another good thing, you want to kind of look for ripples in the water, always good. And then, like my cousin was telling me earlier, look for your shadows and everything from the surface. It's a good indicator. And you also want to try, if you can, it's good whenever like tadpoles break out, because there'll be fish feeding off of that, gar particularly in this area. So it's good for you to know that stuff, because you can mimic it for other reasons, for like other types of fishing if need be. But it's good to know when all the animals kind of like are birthed, it'll help to get you some food. Unfortunately, we weren't able to actually catch any invasive species the other day, so it's not the most optimal situation, but we still got to make a decent video out of it, and I hope you guys did enjoy that. And you learned how to like bow fish correctly and everything like that. So maybe in the future I'll be able to get one where we're actually catching some like fish or like some invasive species like gar, etc., etc. Okie dokies, well, thank you for joining us today, my dudes. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up, share, comment, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me whenever you guys do this. And then hit that bell icon if you want to get notified for the next time I upload new videos. With that being said, though, my dudes, as usual, please don't forget to live long and prosper, take care and peace, and keep it 1,000,000% real. I'll see you guys on the flip side.